Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here and today I'm bringing you a couple of videos pre-filmed, so get used to this top. I'm gonna put this down. Today I'm bringing you my recent reads, or my 2018 reads so far. Literally read less than 10 books, probably about 6 books this year. I did take a little bit of a reading break in the middle of the year for personal reasons that I don't particularly want to go into right now, but those of you who follow me on Twitter may be aware of what's been going on. So thank you very much for your patience and understanding whilst I've been away. I have uploaded 2 videos recently, so if I remember I'll leave them up there or down there, or probably not at all, knowing me. So without further ado, let's get into what I've been reading this year. So 2018 for me started off with a couple of ebooks. Ow, I just hit myself in the head with my iPad. Smart move. So apparently I read 8 books this year. It's a little bit blurry, but the first book I read in 2018 was Everless by Sarah Holland. This one I did actually enjoy and it was a pleasant start to the year. I did read it quite quickly as well, considering I don't tend to read books quickly anymore. This was kindly an arc on NetGalley and now it's gone back to the Goodreads screen. Great. It's also ruining my lighting. Extra great. So if I am yellow, as per usual, I have the lights on because natural lighting is shocking even at 8 PM in the summer in the UK. In the kingdom of Sempera, time is currency, extracted from blood, bound to iron and consumed to add time to one's own lifespan. The rich aristocracy, like the Girlings, tax the poor to the hilt, extending their own lives by centuries. So basically they charge maximum, like ridiculously high taxes, and everything is done in currency. So they then basically get the blood turned into little coins that they then sort of like eat, which is weird, but you know, why not? Who wouldn't eat coins if they extended your life? Like, obviously. No one resents the Girlings more than Jules, who is the main character, as I've said, whose father's dying. She knows that she has to go to the big massive time vault, basically, within the main building, sort of like the kingdom almost, of this town and of this city, to extract more time for her father. Obviously things don't go as planned. They kind of take an off the beaten track kind of route, as they usually do in YA. And yeah, we follow Jules as she's trying to basically save her father's life, but secrets have become uncovered that make her doubt everything that she already knows. So yeah, I read this one pretty much straight in the new year. It actually says January the 6th I finished it, so that's how long ago it was. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I was really curious about the whole how blood can be currency kind of thing, and what I went into knowing that blood is currency and wanting to know how that works, I got so much more. I found sort of like the relationship between Jules and the other characters was quite interesting. So she goes in as a servant within the kingdom and comes across the princes who she used to hang around with when she grew up, and surprise surprise, one's good, one's bad. You've just got to take the good with the bad and see how it goes. Their relationships were amazing to see and I really, really enjoyed it, and to find out that there actually is a sequel, I think. Yeah, pretty sure there's a sequel. To find out that there is a sequel, I do want that. I need that in my life just to see what happens with Jules and all this information that she's found in book 1. I would definitely recommend it if you do like the kingdom side of YA and young adult fantasy. Sort of the whole idea of not a democracy, the really bad one. No, not a hierarchy, not a monarchy. That one that basically means that power is very, very bad and very high up there and everybody else is like way down here. If you like that kind of story, this book is for you. And this is going to be a shocking video because that's number 1 and I have another 6 more to do. Yeah! So the next one I read, again, is going to be an ebook image because I don't have the book anymore. It is another graphic novel and it's Saga Volume 2, and this is by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This one follows on from the first in the series, where 2 worlds, 2 people's lives collide and basically they have a child and end up on the run. Saga Volume 2 follows us meeting one of the sets of parents of the couple and sort of how they cope with the fact that their grandchild is actually half human, half alien almost ish, and basically they then get roped into everything that's going on in the parents' lives and we sort of follow that journey essentially, pretty much. My Saga Volume 2 was a 3 out of 5 stars read. This is mainly because it helped me decide that actually graphic novels might not necessarily be my thing. For me, definitely the best part about this series is the graphics. They're unbelievable. The artwork inside, the colour, the detail is phenomenal. It's just the story for me was lacking a little bit. Like the whole of this volume, the whole of this section was literally just us meeting the grandparents and dealing with the grandparents on the run kind of thing, which kind of felt like it lacked a little bit, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from all 5 of you who watch this video, so yeah, sue me. Don't sue me, I'm very poor. But anyway, yeah, I didn't really enjoy this as much as I thought I would, and ended up giving the whole series back to my friend without actually reading the rest of them, which kind of says a lot really. But yeah, 3 out of 5 stars, that was very mediocre for me. So now we're on to the physical books this year. I did read Saga as a physical book, I just didn't have the book with me. The next one I read was Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, and this is book 2 in the Lunar Chronicles and follows on from Cinder. Now this one follows the story of Little Red Riding Hood, kind of. So the Lunar Chronicles are basically a set of fairy tale retellings, but in sort of like a cyborg world and a cyborg universe, which is a very interesting twist. And it is obviously more the YA interest. So yeah, very different from the good old, oh grandma, what big teeth you have, all the better to eat you with kind of story, and I can't believe I just did that. Cannot believe I just did that. So Scarlet follows Scarlet, whose grandmother has gone missing, and the only person who can seemingly help her is Wolf. And Wolf is a little bit of a secretive guy, and I believe she finds him in her grandma's shed, maybe? I may have just made that up. We also have the story of Cinder, sort of interwoven into this one as well, and Cinder is about to become the most hated or the most looked for person in the Commonwealth because of her actions in book 1. Now, I can't go any further into this without spoiling it, so I would definitely recommend that you check out Goodreads down below, find Scarlet, find Cinder, go buy them, read them and love them, because now I need Cress and Winter in my life to then read 2 years later, because that's what I tend to do with series now, is I read one and then read the rest 2 years later. Great. So yeah, this one I did really enjoy. I think I gave this one 3 out of 5 or 3.5 out of 5 stars. The only thing for me with this one is there wasn't enough Cinder in it. I felt like the paths crossed a little bit too late in the book for me. I would have rather, I think they crossed about here. I would rather they crossed about here, just so we could have a little bit more of Cinder and Scarlet getting to know each other and seeing how they would interact together a little bit more. But overall I did really enjoy this, and I do want to pick up Cress, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I mean, it's not like I don't have enough books, but it's a good thing. The next one I read was Wolf by Ryan Gordon, and this one is a historical fiction crossed with sort of new adult themes, and follows a young girl who is destined to kill Hitler. Yeah. Anything like this I do absolutely love usually. So Wolf by Wolf follows Yale, who is 17 years old and has only ever known Hitler being in power other than towards the end of the war. So it's 1956, it's Germany, Hitler's been in power now for over 10 years since winning the war, and Yale is part of a resistance group who have one mission and one mission only, and that is to kill Hitler. So we follow Yale as she tries to sort of figure out how this plan's going to work. Will she kill Hitler? Will she meet Hitler? Will she get anywhere near enough to him to kill him? It's all in here. I would definitely recommend this. I absolutely loved it. It was 5 out of 5 stars for me, I think, or maybe 4.5. But it was definitely one of the best books I've read so far this year. I loved it. I was angry, I was happy, I was sad, I was elated, I cried. I would definitely recommend this book without a doubt. The next book I have, or don't have seemingly, is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur, and this is a poetry collection that was massively doing the rounds on YouTube in the past few months. I read it in one sitting in Waterstones, but I did actually really enjoy it. I'm not a massive fan of poetry. The only poetry I really remember is sort of from school and from sixth form studying for exams, where you would literally take a poem that's about this long, about 5 sentences long, and analyse it until it's died 1,000 times. But yeah, I was very dubious going into The Sun and Her Flowers because analysing poems was something that I'd only ever known. I'd never known reading poems for pleasure, really. So I was very dubious, and I don't know what this is. I was very dubious going in, but I did really enjoy the sort of the plot behind it, and the poems were very heartwarming in some instances and very relatable in others. And I think I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars because it was a nice little heavy introduction to poetry, but I did enjoy reading it. The next one I have needs no real introduction and needs no real synopsis because everybody's read this book pretty much apart from me. Spoilers, it's in the corner. And it is Illuminae by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. It follows a ship full of people who are some of the last of civilization on Earth and not official intelligence who is trying to overtake the world seemingly. I don't know why I described it, you didn't need to know it because everybody knows what Illuminae is about pretty much. This one is one that I have been putting off buying and putting off reading. So I did buy it quite recently, I say recently, it's about 3 months ago. I did buy it and pretty much picked it up straight away. I thought it would be an easy read, but I didn't actually enjoy the format. I think I'm one of the only people that didn't actually enjoy the format at all. It made the reading quite quick, but at the same time I didn't appreciate it as much as other people. So for example, we have things sort of like chat logs, and we then also have sort of emails, and let's see, there's transmissions, and then there's countdowns and logs and just different sort of sets of information like that. For example, how the frig does anybody manage to read that without actually really hurting their neck or hitting themselves in the face with the book? Because I did both of those things. So yeah, this one for me was 3 out of 5 stars. For me it was fairly average. I mean, I would pick up the second book if I seen it really cheap, but it's not something that I would prioritise and be like, oh my god, I need to read this now, because it's not. Basically it's not. End of discussion. And finally we have the last book that I've read so far this year, which I think is like book 7, and it's The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. This made me cry like a baby. I do have a reading vlog that I'm in the middle of editing and will be uploading for this book, so I definitely suggest that you should go check it out when I manage to actually upload it, if it's not already up. If it's already up, I'll leave it down there, or I probably won't leave it up at all because I'll forget. So The Tattooist of Auschwitz follows Leil Solokhov, who was a Slovakian Jew during World War II. Now he gets told that if he goes away to work, for a while his family will be safe essentially from the SS and from the Germans and the Nazis, who are currently sweeping the nation and bringing their terror upon everybody. So we follow Leil, who goes, I will go, ahead of his brother. He's the youngest in the family as far as I remember, but he goes ahead of his brother who has a family of his own and basically wants to guarantee his family's safety and says, I will do it. I will go wherever you need me to go. I will do whatever you need me to do. I will go. But obviously it's not normal labour. It's not normal work. It's Auschwitz. And we follow Yale as he goes through his arduous journey from his home and then gets taken to Auschwitz and Birkenau. In the first chapter of this, and the first sort of like few pages, I think I cried like 5 or 6 times. I was reading it in bed one night and I started the book and it got to the point fairly early on where things were starting to happen and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can read this without crying. But yeah, I'll leave a link, hopefully, to my reading vlog down below, or if it's not there, definitely check it out on my channel. But yeah, self-promo plug. This wrap up so far of the year for 7 books is already 25 minutes, so I need to get my editing game on and get this trimmed down and get this finished. This one I gave 5 out of 5 stars. If I could give it 11 out of 5 stars, I would. Historical fiction for me, particularly World War II, where it tugs at your heartstrings, and it's not even full historical fiction, it's based on the true story of Leil, who becomes a tattooist on the arm for basically initially Jewish people who come into the camp. Yeah, he tattoos their numbers on their arms. But yeah, for me this one was very heart-wrenching. Ow, hit myself in the face. Clearly it's very hurtful. It's very emotional, as you can see just from the way I'm reacting to this book compared to the rest. I'm not as like, oh my god! I'm more very much trying to be composed. But yeah, it's hard to put into words how this makes you feel when you have sort of like a love for historical fiction and being able to understand how people have felt in such a horrific event, and it really helps you connect on an emotional level, which is why I really enjoyed this one. It was a really quick read for me and I would definitely recommend you check it out, particularly if it means that you get back to your sort of you know, you take a step back from everything you know and love, and it makes you think for just 10 seconds, even just 10 seconds, that, yeah, it's done its job. I would definitely recommend it. It's 5 out of 5 stars. And if that review of this book made any sense, let me know down below, because I don't think it did. So there we have it. These are just some of the books that I've read this year, including the ebooks. That brings my total up to 7 for the year so far. My aim is to read 1 book a month, so I am on target for beating that target, if that makes sense. But yeah, I have read a mixed bag of books, mainly YA and a little bit of historical fiction. But yeah, I've read a mixed bag of books, each of them okay in their own merit. But yeah, definitely check out my Goodreads for full reviews on these books. The link will be down below, and hopefully I'll see you soon with more reviews. Maybe I'll post another review video in December when I've read another 6 books, but who knows how much I'll read. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with another video. Bye! The second book, I don't know why I'm doing that. Typical pose, yeah, woo, whatever. Anyway, nearly half an hour of footage. Kill me now.